Good evening and welcome back to another episode of The Longing. Today we are going to be continuing to read the Iliad by Homer. So, let's get going. The swarming populace the chief detains, and leads amidst a wide extent of plains. There placed them round, then from the ships proceeds a train of oxen, mules, and stately steeds, vases and tripods for the funeral games, resplendent brass and more resplendent dames. First stood the prizes to reward the force of rapid racers in the dusty course. A woman for the first in beauty's bloom, skilled in the needle and the labouring loom, and a large vase where two bright handles rise, of 20 measures its capacious size. The second victor claims a mare unbroke, big with a mule and knowing of the yoke. The third a charger yet untouched by flame, 4 ample measures held the shining frame. 2 golden talents for the fourth were placed, an ample double bowl contents the last. These in fair order ranged upon the plain, the hero rising thus addressed the train. Behold the prizes valiant Greeks decreed, to the brave rulers of the racing steed. Prizes which none beside ourself could gain, should our immortal coursers take the plain. A race unrivalled which from ocean's god Peleus received and on his son bestowed. But this no time our vigour to display, nor suit with them the games of this sad day. Lost is Patroclus now that wont to deck their flowing manes and sleek their glossy neck. Sad as they shared in human grief they stand, and trail those graceful honours on the sand. Let others for the noble task prepare, who trust the courser and the flying car. Fired at his word the rival racers rise, but far the first Eumelus hopes the prize. Famed through Pieria for the fleetest breed, and skilled to manage the high-bounding steed. With equal ardour bold Tydides swelled, the steeds of Tros beneath his yoke compelled, which late obeyed the Dardan chief's command, when scarce a god redeemed him from his hand. Then Menelaus his Podargus brings, and the famed courser of the king of kings, whom rich Echepolus, more rich than brave, to scape the wars to Agamemnon gave. Cthe her name, at home to end his days, base wealth preferring to eternal praise. Next him Antilochus demands the course, with beating heart and cheers his Pylian horse. Experienced Nestor gives his son the reins, directs his judgment, and his heat restrains, nor idly warns the hoary sire, nor hears the prudent son with unattending ears. My son, though youthful ardour fire thy breast, the gods have loved thee, and with arts have blessed. Neptune and Jove on thee conferred the skill, swift round the goal to turn the flying wheel. To guide thy conduct little precept needs, but slow and past their vigour are my steeds. Fear not thy rivals, though for swiftness known. Compare those rivals' judgment and thy own. It is not strength, but art obtains the prize. And to be swift is less than to be wise. 'Tis more by art than force of numerous strokes, the dexterous woodman shapes the stubborn oaks. By art the pilot through the boiling deep, and howling tempest steers the fearless ship. And 'tis the artist wins the glorious course, not those who trust in chariots and in horse. In vain unskilful to the goal they strive, and short or wide the ungoverned courser drive. While with sure skill, though with inferior steeds, the knowing racer to his end proceeds. Fixed on the goal, his eye foreruns the course, his hand unerring steers the steady horse, and now contracts or now extends the rein, observing still the foremost on the plain. Mark then the goal, 'tis easy to be found, yon aged trunk a cubit from the ground. Of some once stately oak the last remains, or hardy fir unperished with the rains, inclosed with stones conspicuous from afar, and round a circle for the wheeling car. Some tomb perhaps of old the dead to grace, or then as now the limit of a race. Bear close to this and warily proceed, a little bending to the left-hand steed, but urge the right and give him all the reins, while thy strict hand his fellow's head restrains, and turns him short till doubling as they roll, the wheels round naves appear to brush the goal. Yet, not to break the car or lame the horse, clear of the stony heap direct the course, lest through incaution failing, thou mayst be a joy to others, a reproach to me. So shalt thou pass the goal secure of mind, and leave unskilful swiftness far behind. Though thy fierce rival drove the matchless steed, which bore Adrastus of celestial breed, or the famed race through all the regions known, that whirled the car of proud Laomedon. Thus, naught's unsaid, the much advising sage concludes, then sat stiff with unwieldy age. Next bold Meriones was seen to rise, the last but not least ardent for the prize. They mount their seats, the lots their place dispose, rolled in his helmet these Achilles throws. Young Nestor leads the race, Eumelus then, and next the brother of the king of men. Thy lot, Meriones, the fourth was cast, and far the bravest, Diomed, was last. They stand in order, an impatient train. Pelides points to the barrier on the plain, and sends before old Phoenix to the place, to mark the racers and to judge the race. At once the coursers from the barrier bound, the lifted scourges all at once resound. Excuse me. Their heart, their eyes, their voice they send before, and up the champaign thunder from the shore. Thick where they drive the dusty clouds arise, and the lost courser in the whirlwind flies. Loose on their shoulders the long manes reclined, float in their speed and dance upon the wind. The smoking chariots, rapid as they bound, now seem to touch the sky and now the ground. While hot for fame and conquest all their care, each o'er his flying courser hung in air. Erect with ardour, poised upon the rein, they pant, they stretch, they shout along the plain. Now the last compass fetched around the goal, at the near prize each gathers all his soul. Each burns with double hope, with double pain, tears up the shore, and thunders toward the main. First flew Eumelus on Phaeacian steeds, with those of Tros bold Diomed succeeds. Close on Eumelus' back they puff the wind, and seem just mounting on his car behind. Full on his neck he feels the sultry breeze, and hovering o'er their stretching shadows sees. Then had he lost or left a doubtful prize, but angry Phoebus to Tydides flies, strikes from his hand the scourge and renders vain his matchless horses labour on the plain. Rage fills his eye with anguish to survey, snatched from his hope the glories of the day. The fraud celestial palace sees with pain, springs to her knight and gives the scourge again, and fills his steeds with vigour. At a stroke she breaks his rival's chariot from the yoke. No more their way the startled horses held, the car reversed, came rattling on the field. Shot headlong from his seat beside the wheel, prone on the dust the unhappy master fell. His battered face and elbows strike the ground, nose, mouth, and front one undistinguished wound. Grief stops his voice, a torrent drowns his eyes. Before him far the glad Tydides flies. Minerva's spirit drives his matchless pace, and crowns him victor of the laboured race. And with that we come to the end of the episode. So I will say thank you very much for joining us this evening. I hope you all have a wonderful morning, evening, afternoon or night. No matter what time of day it is, I hope you all have a wonderful one of it. And as always, we will be back tomorrow for more of The Longing. Goodbye.